Hey guys, I'm learning TFT and I'm sharing my learnings with you so that you can learn better and I can learn more effectively as well. In this video, I'm going to go through a coaching session with Marcel where we review a Golden Ox game that I played in the sub-regionals tournament from last weekend. A key idea with Golden Ox is it's similar to set 13 Conquerors and Sugarcraft from set 12, where it's a snowball comp and you really need to play it from ahead for it to do well because you build up the Golden Ox stacks and then once you hit 6 Golden Ox, you can farm item components. So it's really important to play from ahead. And you'll see in this game examples of situations where the thinnest of margins and optimizing strongest board can make the difference between a first and a fourth or even an eighth. Since once you hit escape velocity, this comp is just completely broken. The other condition that it really relies on is having an emblem, since that allows you to hit 6 Golden Ox on level 8, which is really important because if you can get 6 Golden Ox and start winning fights in stage 4, that's what will start snowballing you insane amount and start generating you components. Because even if you hit the whole board, I've played Golden Ox a bunch of times and I've hit the whole board in stage 4, but if you aren't able to get ahead of the curve and stay ahead of tempo, then even if you hit your whole board, it's not strong enough because the units are balanced around the. It's kind of like Zac, where you need a certain amount of blobs for Zac to even be worth putting on your board. And the same is true for Golden Ox, where if you're not really getting those Golden Ox stacks up, then you hit your whole 2-star board and it's still not going to do much. So the key idea is you really have to play from ahead. Early game, you can usually play around a Rage Blade holder, which can be Kog'Maw, it could be TF, Vayne. It's very flexible. Alternatively, you could just slam onto an early Graves 2, which can work. Or you could play around melee, around like Rengar as well. Though melee is harder because in the endgame board, you do want Viego, which does hold melee, but Viego's obviously a lot harder to hit, which is why Rageblade is the most reliable because there are so many item holders that you can throw Rageblade on. And if you, Alistar is one of the strongest early game units, so if you can get like one solid tank item like a Stone Plate Alistar 2 with a Rageblade holder in the back holding Golden Ox emblem, then you could just be quite strong in the early game, especially if you can get 4 Golden Ox going early with an emblem. Like let's say you have these 4 with a Kog'Maw in the backline, even if it doesn't have rapid fire. Ideally it does, but even if you don't have rapid fire, it could still do reasonably well. Or let's say a Vayne instead of this Jarvan here, because you already have Slayer with Vayne instead of Rengar. That can be quite good from a Rageblade standpoint as well. The econ is actually quite important in the early game because you need to hit all your units on 4-2 basically. If you don't, you're dead in the water. And so even though you might think that econ is redundant for Golden Ox, it's actually useful because it allows you to get your team online, and then the trait itself will farm you items and damage amp, which becomes your combat value in the late game. So you can essentially view econ augments as converting over to combat augments in the late game. And if you're stuck on level 8 and you can't stabilize in stage 4, you're going 8th pretty much. You have to get ahead of tempo so that you can push level 9. It is possible to stabilize off of just 4 Golden Ox in level 8 and get to level 9 cheaply. I've also seen YBY1 play this without emblem, play 4 Golden Ox with Aphelios on 8, use that to win a few times, generate gold in stage 4, and then transition that into the 6 Boombot board or the Urgot Fast 9 board. Right? Because Aphelios can be your item holder for your Urgot essentially. At level 9, Garen is amazing because if you can put Golden Ox mods on like Zaya, on basically any of your other units or carries that you might have in place, that is extremely high value. And Zac is also really good to add at level 9 because if assuming you're hitting ahead of tempo, you're going to be generating so much gold and you want to keep getting those stacks. So the easiest way to keep getting Golden Ox stacks, which gives your team damage amp, is to just roll. And if you're going to be rolling a ton because you have excess gold, you can generate a ton of blobs with Zac. And on top of that, Golden Ox already has a bunch of damage. So what you really need is more frontline, and Zac synergizes really well with that. These are kind of the itemization you want to go for. Rageblade on Aphelios, Annie. I believe Annie's itemization with Golden Ox has been updated since I did this. Should be like blue buff, Nasher, and like Archangel now for more damage on Annie. I can actually take a look at that. Actually, let's see. 6 Golden Ox, Annie with 3 items. Yeah, so blue buff, Nasher, Archangel, or even Shojin, Nasher, Archangel are quite good. So you want scaling damage because she already gets a lot of damage amp. If you get AP on her, then she can start going pretty insane. As far as augments go, Golden Fleece, if you can get it early with, like, let's say, I believe I had Golden Fleece one time off of the encounter where you have the 3 emblems on the dummy. If you can get Golden Fleece with 4 Golden Ox early, it's just insanely broken. You start generating a ton of gold, especially if you have an Alistar 2 and you can streak. Plus, the gold you generate from Golden Fleece is really strong. Golden Ox Crest you really want to take if you think you can start streaking early game. You don't want to lose streak Golden Ox. All that shimmers with Gold Collector is quite good on Aphelios. Of course, if you have Gold Collector, you want IE with it. And it's really good because Aphelios throws his ult and does AoE effects so he can crit and execute a bunch of units. Forward thinking lets you get to 4-2 with a ton of gold to hit your whole board. We talked about how Econ is really good. Golden Ox Crown, same thing with Hedge Fund, Birthday Present. If you can tempo into it, like if you happen to hit an Aphelios 2 or any 2 when you get to level 8 and you happen to have some supporting cast, then you can consider pivoting into this if you think you can stay ahead of tempo and generate gold to go 9. Upward Mobility and Invested Plus Plus similarly give you a lot of gold. Pumping up for Aphelios and Tiniest Titan to just give you survivability and more gold are all pretty solid. So yeah, to summarize, you really gotta make sure to play Golden Ox from tempo. Playing strongest board, optimizing all the small things over the course of the game makes or breaks this comp. And yeah, let me know your thoughts in the comments below. I would love to hear your feedback. And I hope you enjoy this coaching session with Marcel.
Yeah, I think here I would probably I'm probably willing to sell. Yeah, I like that you're not putting the 3 costs. I'm willing to sell these 3 costs. They're good, but I feel like
If there's gold drop,
if you
make
make
10.
there's a chance I would want to. Yeah, I'd probably commit the Vi actually. I'd probably commit the Vi and the Morgana probably
Okay.
because the Morgana goes with Elise is a good unit now with the buffs, and then Vi Cipher. It's like if I'm selling, then I'm likely lose streaking, and if I'm lose streaking, those are the units I'd rather have, right? Vi, Morgana less important, more so Vi.
Okay.
Mortality is truly
This
divine.
looks more like a Vanguard marksman.
Yeah, from this opener, I'm already thinking that.
Golden Ox.
Probably hold the. Probably sell off Morgana, Poppy, hold Kindred, and Silas,
Yep.
and probably commit the Kindreds for like my back line.
It's too greedy. Golden Ox.
Looks like you went for the same. Okay, I like it. You did some brief scouting. Yeah, I guess we can just go to augment selection. If you're saying we can go a bit faster. Let's see. Rage Blade opener. You probably can take this from. I think this line is way better from ahead now, and because they nerfed 6 Golden Ox, right? They buffed the units, nerfed 6. So I think from ahead, because you don't stabilize as hard. I think on level on stage 4 if you have 0 procs,
Right.
and also you want some time to like take a few losses as you stack it. That being said, I don't know if I'd take it here.
Because I don't have a 2-star front line.
Probably would, but I feel like cluttered is also pretty good here. You have a chance. It has a chance of giving you a kindred to guaranteed econ.
Maybe just doing cluttered into Vanguard or Marksman.
Yeah. I feel like if I was a tiny bit stronger, then I really would be down for Golden Ox. But for me here, it's like kind of close.
So it's like if I had Alistar pair at least.
Yeah. If you had Alistar pair, for me, I think I'd click it if it's Alistar 2. Alistar pair, I'd still be a little reluctant. I'd use the same logic of, oh, Cluttered Mind can give me the Alistar 2 and the Kindred 2. But yeah, because I feel like if you miss your pairs for most of the stage, you're fucked. Whereas with Cluttered Mind, you can win loss, your game's totally fine, right? Like you have good items so far. Slam Rage Blade, just play towards Vanguard Marksman, and probably like somewhere between like a 5th and a, I don't know, 3rd probably. Whereas Golden Ox here, there's like some chance you don't really hit stuff, you go 8th.
So as
Not sure. I'm projecting way too far, but yeah.
Yeah, as slightly more context, I think I got 5th and 7th in the first 2 games, and they had cut off after a 3rd game. So I needed to get like a top 2 or 3 here.
Oh, gotcha.
To like make
I think that's fine. Then. If you're needing a top 2 or 3, I can see it. Yeah, Golden Ox is better in that sense.
Oh. I'm also just always a sucker for stuff like this. Which is probably not great in tournament context.
Yeah, I think just trying to be more objective about like these, like right here, ideally you don't level, right? But then now with 4 Golden Ox, like it's very tempting to. Yeah. You probably still don't. I think you're probably not meant not to. Is my guess.
Especially because I wouldn't be able to get the stack value.
Yeah, and you want to hold this entire shop, which is kind of hard.
Yeah.
I don't even know how do we hold this? I guess you don't hold the Mundo pair. Yeah. Because you're not playing Mundo for a while anyway. Yeah, I guess you just sell Mundo and buy the 4 other units. Or you buy 3 units, and then if you need to, you sell and buy. And then you just Rage Blade the I guess the Graves. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like strongest is probably Silas or Vi with J4 and then oh, but Mundo is also Bruiser Slayer. Oh.
Yeah.
That's kind of hard. I'm not sure. I guess you could also make the argument that Kindred is not even a good Rage Blade holder. And so you can even like just ignore that backline pair and just hold Kog'Maw, who's a better Rage Blade holder. And then the moment you find like a Vayne or a Senna, those units are better than Kindred 2 anyway with Rage Blade. So just don't value the Kindred pair. I can also see that. And if you sell the Kindreds, you can hold your whole shop.
Yeah. I don't think I came to the conclusion of even holding units. I think I just leveled. I agree with your assessment now that you are talking about it.
I know the way.
Oh, I think you have. Why wouldn't you or I guess what would be your reasoning during the game of leveling here?
So I can get 4 Golden Ox in and have higher likelihood of generating gold. Like I assume I should be able to kill like 1 or 2 units, so then like my EV on generating gold is reasonably high, but I agree that significantly impacts my ability to hit 2 stars.
Yeah, it both affects your 2 stars and your streak, right? Like if you level here, there's a chance you win loss, right? You win, because you face a level 3 player, and then 2-2, you face someone with upgraded units at leveled, and then you lose, and then now your streak is completely fucked. Whereas if you stay low level, like you allow yourself to spike with your streak, right? You stay low level here, you sell off your candidates, you hold all these pairs. Like it's more congruous, right? Like you go loss, and then let's say you hit your 2 stars on 2-2 or 2-3, then you try to level, and then you try to attempt a win, right? And your stage 2 can be loss, win. Whereas by leveling here, your odds are fucked, and your streak is also potentially fucked, and also your golden ox is also a little. I mean, okay, the golden ox proc is not coming either way, I guess, unless you like double level next turn, but or on 2-3, but yeah, I think it's similar to, if you recall, we were talking about like when to roll on a 2-cost comp, like I think in a session a long time ago,
Yeah.
and a lot of it is based on your streak. You can think of it similarly here as well, where like the streak really matters, right? I think we last session as well, we were talking about that with respect to like stage 2 and leveling, and I think playing around streak, like yes, chop odds and going for 2-star 1-cost matters, but also like trying to have a streak of some sort, like whether you go loss, win, or loss, you get carousel pick and then win, right? Or just 5 loss if you don't hit a single pair.
So I think I
Yeah.
agree with that in almost all contexts. In this one, it seems to me the maybe the one exception, because like it's 60% chance rate of proccing gold on kill. So like, isn't there an argument that I could generate more gold from just golden ox itself than streak value?
Oh, I think if it is just gold, then I can see that it's close, but then you're also factoring in the odds to hit these pairs, and the fact you have to sell off one of these, like you have to sell pairs, right? To even level here.
Yeah.
I agree with you that if it is just that, then it's kind of arguable. But that's why like it's the mix of both of them, right? That make it
Okay.
kind of like, oh, I feel like you should say low level here.
Yeah. Okay. Cruiser.
Yeah, I guess you go this guy. Yeah.
Support for the cause.
Okay. I guess you can't hold anything. You just play this, I guess. Nice.
Now I want executioner. Okay,
I assume Gragas is stronger here than Mundo by a lot.
Are you
probably.
willing to? I assume you don't burn a remover, in which case you're willing to sell the dough.
Oh yeah, I'm pretty sure Gragas 2 is better than Gragas 1 is better than Mundo 2. Just because he gives your whole board HP, right? Flat HP early game is so insane to add to your whole board.
Okay, I think I'm still undervaluing like.
It's not just 3 costs, right? I think in most scenarios 3 costs and 2-star 2 costs, like it's close sometimes. But here it's not, because Gragas gives you a trade for your whole board, whereas Mundo gives you Slayer, which is on an unitemized 1-star J4. It's not nothing, but I feel like, and not only that, but like he himself right now especially there's a big gap, right?
Yeah.
Between Gragas and Mundo. Like, do you know what just think of it here? Here's a like, I think we've done this before, but like, how much HP do you think you're missing out on by not playing this Gragas on your current board?
Like 300.
I would guess it's like closer to 500-600. We can compute it, but like off the top of my head, I would think it's closer to 500-600.
Oh,
and
okay.
That'll like make it more evident. I think you should do these estimations in your head when you're thinking of when to play one unit versus the other. And we can see, I don't know if I'm entirely right on that, but let's see. So, Mundo 1 is 650. Yeah, you can see my screen, right?
Yeah.
Gragas 1 is 850, so that's 200 in just the unit alone, right? And then you have Divinicor. So then I think I'm off on my 500-600, but anyway, 650. So 200 on this unit, and then his trait. Wait, I'm super off. My your 300 is probably like super accurate, and mine is like insanely off. let's see. And then Divinicore is 50 per unit times 4, right? So it's 400. Right?
And then on top of that, the bruiser bonus is 20%. So you're closer.
Oh, true. Yeah, 20% on. Yeah, I guess it's like 450-ish, I guess. Between 4 and 500, right? Somewhere in that range. And then you can also like factor in like it's cheating at this point because it is not what I said, but like factoring in the EHP because Gragas has more resistance and he also has a spell that likely has more healing than Mundo's.
Yeah. Okay.
So like EHP, like sure, then I'm starting to be closer to like it's starting to get closer to like 600, but that's cheating. So yeah, it's like between 4 and 500, which if you say it like that, isn't that insane?
Yeah.
500 HP, it's basically a Warmogs in your board. You're intentionally like dropping one full item on your board by not playing. By not playing Gragas here.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, like this fight, I can. Okay, it's not a diff. You lose this no matter what. I was gonna say it could be a diff, but
Carbon?
actually maybe. Oh wait, it's so close. I could see it being a diff here.
That's definitely diff. Damage.
Oh, you even leveled. You leveled. Oh, you leveled 4 that guy.
Yeah, it's
Oh yeah, I
definitely
think
diff.
if I'm down to level, then yeah, you definitely should be playing the Gragas here. Yeah. I guess I'm surprised that you would level but and then not play. Like, I assume you know it's stronger. You're just is it that you're unwilling to like potentially lose econ?
Yeah, I thought I could by leveling. So by leveling, I'm getting the Golden Ox proc, which earlier on is it like 3% at this point? Damage amp.
Yeah,
And I thought
it matters.
I could hit 10 gold while doing that as well and win. So, but I was clearly wrong.
Oh, I feel like yeah, just judging the guy's board, it's kind of scary. Like I wouldn't think if I was down to do this, I would just play the Gragas at this point.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
And it sucks because that guy's also Golden Ox, so he is my direct competition.
You're like giving him potentially a placement there. Let's see. It's probably Sunfire if you're trying to play towards strongest.
Yeah. Or the
A4
Jarvan
pair.
page
Also, yeah,
that should
interesting.
help me streak.
What do we take?
Sunfire. It's Jarvan pair.
I guess you lost your streak, so maybe that's okay. I would want to see
Yeah, the belt was my. I was like trying to decide between Sunfire and Jarvan.
I want to see how bad a chain is here in this lobby. I feel like you took it. Like whenever I'm taking an early Bramble or Declaw, I want to make sure that's actually like, and it's like a choice. It's not like you're forced to make the item. I want to make sure this is actually like a good item in this lobby.
Jarvan pair. I can hit Jarvan.
Because against the opposite resistance type, you're almost like down an item, right? Like the percent HP is not really an item. Right. It's like the mix of that and the resistance and the effect.
2 in stage 3.
And Braum over the guy. And then yeah. Fine.
I should put Jarvan on the outside.
Okay, worked out.
Executioner.
Nothing really here.
TF.
It's like I don't think you're meant to play TF. Like you have Syndicate, but I don't think it's stronger. Or at least you drop 4 Golden Ox. Was there a Jinx in shop? I feel like isn't Jinx your best backline next stage with Rage Blade?
Would that be better than the TF? I guess if I could get Jinx with a Rengar, given that I already have the Mundo.
Yeah. I guess TF's also pretty good. Is it easy to fit TF on this board? What would we do? We would do.
I already have the Braum, so it's just Darius, right?
Yeah, I guess you have Shaco, Darius. Yeah, fair enough. Okay, yeah, it's probably TF is probably better.
Dirac.
And you're definitely leveling here. You found Darius. Yeah. Out here, I'd be down to. Let's see. I guess you just sell Mundo, right? Sell Mundo, play Twisted Fate, Rage Blade, and remover the Rage Blade. Go
Or
for like
just
a
play
Warmog.
Yeah. I don't know if I actually did that.
Roll.
You didn't level based on matchup, is that why?
Just do it next turn.
This also gets you your golden. I mean, you're getting golden ox. Oh, you may not even get golden ox next turn because you only have to pump twice.
I'll just do it next turn. But I assume I would roll next turn. Like level and roll. I guess that's the hard part when I'm playing Golden Ox is I feel like I care about streak, but I feel like pumping at the correct intervals to get the stacks, and then getting strong at the right intervals could make a bigger gold difference than streak gold value.
Pumping and spike. Oh, you could level here and then roll next turn, right? You could level here to get this proc and then roll like 4 times next turn and then get the next proc.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
There's no reason you have to do it in the same phase, and you also don't really have to like. If you're gonna roll, if you plan to roll the stage, it doesn't mean you have to roll this turn. Like you just have to be strong enough for a 3-1 fight, right, to win. So get your 3 streak. You also still make 40 here. I'm actually quite surprised you don't level here. When your logic is you're down to level on 2-2, it's signaling to me that you want to play like super tempo, just fine with Golden. But why is it that all of a sudden you change that logic here?
Yeah, good question. I think in my mind I got stuck on if I'm leveling I should also roll, but I agree that it seems like the best move is just to level no roll.
You could also level and roll this turn. I think you would potentially dip. You'd lose a lot of econ doing that, but I mean you could as well. But yeah, I think here, just because it's so much stronger, right, to play around TF Syndicate, Rage Blade Backliner, Warmogs, J4.
Yeah.
Like right now, this Graves can just jump in and die.
Yeah.
And then.
Agreed.
And I think it would be based on your matchups.
Warmog.
Like this guy, I guess you just never win, probably, even with TF is my guess.
Yeah.
That
might have factored. And this guy, yeah. Okay, so I think I probably just thought I was going to lose anyway.
You're checking with 6 seconds left, so I don't know if I'm truly giving you credit for scouting and validating. But if you were checking with like add 5 more seconds to this clock, I think it's correct decision because you likely lose. Yeah, you likely lose, and that TF guy is also gonna roll potentially next turn, and so it's gonna be hard to beat him anyway. You could argue that you could also just level and roll here, and you just beat them all, and you 100 streak the whole stage. But it's really hard to go for that. Yeah, I mean you're gonna lose this no matter what, right? Oh, you won. Oh, your guy jumped on the TF.
Yeah.
Nice. You just knew.
I assume I bought the
surely
TF.
We buy the TF. Okay.
Wait, did I not buy the Darius?
Huh?
Okay.
I guess you're committed to playing around Graves, but I feel like Graves is such a piece of shit.
Radiant item. Agreed.
What was the first option you skipped? Not that. It's probably not any of these, right?
Yeah.
Radiant Relic is probably your best option now. I don't like it, but it's probably the best option here.
Radiant item.
I think I would
damage amp from Golden Ox, and we're trying.
Yeah, I think I would take Radiant item here. You can use AP eventually. You can use tank and AD right now.
Yeah.
You can even use AP right now if you had held the Darius, right? Because you'd put on the TF.
Right.
Allows you to be strong now. I assume it's Gunblade.
That was my assumption too.
Equinox would also be very good on J4.
Then I was looking at the stats later, and then given that I have Jarvan pair, I feel like
Equinox is insane. It's an insane item. Yeah, It's probably Equinox. Now that I think about it. Radiant. I think it's the best item it's like second best item in the game, right?
Yeah, the Shiv, but yeah, Equinox.
Wait, really? Isn't it Steadfast?
Oh, it's
It's
Steadfast and then Shiv.
Steadfast is best.
I
Yeah, it's
guess
like one of the best. It's
Lifeblood's
one of
up
the
there
best.
too.
But yeah, I think of this item as being very good. But I guess for your overall like item economy, I think Gunblade is better. So I don't mind like not like I think Equinox is strongest right now, but and you can argue, oh, you're taking Radiant relics, and so why not just take the thing strongest right now? But they're like sort of playing an in between, which I think is good in the sense that it may not be like true strongest right now, but it makes your item economy so much better because you can use an abundance of backline items in this comp, right? But you can only really use so many tank items. You don't really want like double tank in this comp. And if you take Equinox, all your future frontline components are kind of fucked, right?
That's true. And given that I'm last pick, like the odds of that are high.
Yeah. So I think all that being said, I prefer Radiant Gunblade. Let's see. So yeah, I think rolling here is good now. You're on a 3 streak. I think I would probably roll till hitting. What are your spikes here? Executioner. Hitting 2 stars. I'd probably roll till I hit one of these.
Yeah.
Nice. I see you would be able to stop here if you had held the Darius.
Yeah.
But now it's like a little suspicious because it's unclear what we even do it. Oh, you really don't want to play on this guy. I'm surprised.
Truly divine.
Hmm.
I think I just ran out of time to think.
I would still make it here.
Yeah.
Because doesn't the setup look? And this is basically true best TF.
Yeah.
You also just deny the TF players for fun.
Yeah.
Aren't there are like 2 of them, right?
There's 2 of them, that's right. And I end up losing.
I'm pretty sure you win this if you're even no Syndicate TF. There's a chance you win this.
Yeah. I think odds are good that I won that if I didn't.
Yeah. And if you had Darius, you'd be in a really good spot.
Yeah.
Like there's a chance now you're lacking like 1. I mean, you probably still win. Let's see.
And sword. This is where having Equinox may have felt better. At least for the short term.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess. What do we take here then?
Got belt.
Yeah, I guess belt is fine. Can be utility, can be third item, can be yeah. I'd probably level here. I look at my pool. Cause you can you have to proc like 1 gold.
Off of that pool, I'm like pretty high confident.
Gotcha. I don't like the positioning here, by the way. You're basically giving up all your tanks for all your front units are being given up for free. Like the Jarvan is not tanking for any of your other guys.
Oh, so you'd want like Mundo on the outside and just have them in a line.
I'd want like Jarvan definitely on the outside, and then yeah, because right now Jarvan's on the inside, which is like all these units will just die.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I kind of want this guy on the outside, and then probably Braum on the other outside for Vanguard shield.
So I think I position like that specifically against the Vagar and wanting Jarvan to be the last one standing so that the Gunblade is scaled up to heal Jarvan. And just like, yeah, I guess I was kind of intentionally sacking the shitters. Not that it's like reasonable logic or not. This guy. But I guess he's like pretty weak.
He's not that strong. Yeah, I don't even know if I necessarily agree with that, but I can see why now. Okay, that makes sense. But yeah, see if you had level here, you just lose 1 gold. I feel like, and like this is not even considering selling other units, right? I feel like leveling for Ross here is another question for you. How much EHP do you think Ross adds to this board? Isn't it a lot?
Yeah, it's probably like 1200 or something.
Yeah, it's probably an insane amount. He's also a Vanguard himself, so he's like not even that awful. I feel like I'm down to just
Yeah,
level. Like
I
it's
think
one. You're spending 1 gold for this
I'm
guy.
just. Although it's not just 1 gold, right? It's like because then I can't like I
Oh,
don't.
true. You can't proc the next thing. Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, actually, is that true? I guess you're gonna. I see. You're gonna try to do it next turn. I see. Fair enough. Fair enough.
You shine brightly.
I guess if you're so certain on not needing to,
Build this
I assume you just pump here, right? Pump once.
top bruiser.
Oh, you should pump here now because you're losing the bonus damage for this fight.
Yeah. Is it pump or roll?
Right.
Or I guess there's nothing to roll for. Oh, okay. Yeah.
I think it definitely should be pumped because you get to you'll never lose that gold.
I assume I
Yeah, and you
pump.
can just
Wait, do I not pump? Oh, I rolled.
Okay.
Wait, what did I do? Oh, I did pump. Okay.
yeah, you did. I guess you're holding on to J4 3. I don't mind it. I would want to see how many other J4 players there are, but I guess you're just holding on.
2 other TF players, which also kind of denies them too, right?
The J4. Oh, but I wouldn't want to. I mean, if they're already denied to 3-star, then why would you have to hold? If they're already denying each other, then why wouldn't you just make the goal?
Oh, okay. Yeah. That and I feel
I think
like
yeah,
every time I've played Golden Ox, I feel like the cap is so low unless you can hit like Jarvan 3 plus like Ophelios 3 or Annie 3.
I tend to agree, but then if you just can't hit Jarvan 3 because there's a bunch of other people playing it, I feel like I'd rather just make the gold here. But if there's one other Golden Ox player as well, right? There's 2 TF players and a Golden Ox player.
Yeah.
Aren't the odds like kind of fun? I guess you could argue you give yourself a chance with like if you could drop blue deuce or something, but
Mhm.
I tend to just sell here. You can always still hit the J4 just because you sold this one. Like if you really fall into the other scenarios, but I feel like in all likelihood this 1 gold is better off just not holding a 4th J4 in a 4. It's a 4-way J4 contest, right? Yeah, because we lost one here. Right? Did you? Yeah.
I'm gonna get Bruiser. I was an amp player is gonna contest my enemies too.
Okay. Can't you pump here? Like I guess look at it this way. You're not willing to. I guess I think you should be a little more conscious of like what you're willing to spend and lose 1 gold for. Like you're not willing to lose the 1 gold to play a stronger board with Kane for 1200 HP, but then you're willing to lose 1 gold to hold the J4 in a 4-way contest, and then now you're not willing to lose 1 gold to pump here. Right? You can pump this turn and you drop top to 40 here, right?
This.
Right here. After you pick up everything, it should be top of mind already that you are even before you pick up the orbs and see how much gold it is. That there's a really good chance you can pump to hit the next proc and you lose 1 gold.
Although I would not be willing to pump or to be able to hit the next breakpoint on 4-1, right? So like won't I get there anyway?
Oh, but if you level and roll next turn, you'll get it as well. You'll get this proc and the next proc.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, agreed. Okay.
You just lose 1 gold. So like, I feel like you just need to be more. It's just some inefficiencies in terms of like you just have some leakages, right? In like your logic of saving 1 gold. You lose 1 gold here for the J4, and then you don't lose 1 gold here. So like ultimately, like your net is kind of not even that bad, but like you're missing out on some stuff.
Oh, Syndicate Bruiser. Gojin.
Oh, I guess you don't level here. Okay. I'm surprised you. If we're saying you're contested Golden Ox,
Gojin.
I guess you do need some gold. So like and you're not that weak. So I'm maybe fine with this. I'm not sure though. Because isn't it that you hit one Annie, one Aphelios, you're like guaranteed winning this round, unless you fight someone who also all in. I guess you're not that rich though, but like you'll make a lot of gold from killing units, and you get 6 gold, and also you can also like farm an item this turn potentially, at some odds. I guess what's your reasoning for not? Is it just not having enough gold, or for not going in here?
I think my reasoning was that I thought I was gonna win anyway.
How are you claiming that?
Good question. Did I scout? Maybe I did.
Because you're 1 star, you have 4 1-stars on the board and like a dead unit. I feel like this board is just whatever for this stage of the game.
Okay, yeah, I didn't scout.
I also don't think isn't. Oh,
Yeah.
so the other thing here is, with how much gold you have, you're guaranteed to get the Annie. I feel like I'm down to just keep this 3rd item open because blue buff is so good.
Yeah.
GS I guess is kind of mid, but I'm kind of down to like you're 88 HP. I'm kind of down to like guarantee Annie Biss,
Yeah.
as opposed to like just you're like stronger just for a little bit by having this redemption. It's a good item, but
Now, so I actually
this build is also like very bad versus AP, right? You have a very little EHP versus AP matchups. Not that there's much you could do about it with open belt, but like understanding like this, like you're losing your blue up, and then this build is like in this lobby. There's quite a bit of AP from what we saw, and then redemption's like not even that. I mean, like this exact like Warmog's Bramble redemption's just kind of mid, or it's quite bad versus any AP because you're 0 additional MR.
We shall rest when we are dead.
probably left out of these 3. I assume I'm gonna farm enough components.
Yeah,
But
I like
that's
left
not
here
right.
as well.
And yeah, I don't know how
Your
much
units like
HP.
attack speed. I like left here by a lot. Yeah, your units all like AS.
Oh,
Oh,
right.
what?
Oh,
I think I like AS more here. I'm not sure though.
I don't know if I was thinking that bulky is good with, because eventually I get play into Viego and the extra unit helps.
I don't think it's a bad take. I just think you'll scale more of the units that you have itemized, right? Like bulky is most value scaling units with tank items, where and backup is most valuable scaling units with backline items. And you're setting yourself up to have 2 itemized backliners. I guess you could argue backup, like having the frontline tank helps all your backliners, but I feel like Aphelios and Annie both love attack speed, as seen by like Annie having Nashers in her Biss, and Aphelios even having double Rage Blade sometimes in his Biss. So I think I would prefer back. I don't think it's a big thing though here. Like to take, it's like
I guess the
It's also
other mental model I have in place is for Golden Ox, it's specifically a ton of damage amp. So I was thinking I don't necessarily need more like offensive combat. I want like balance as far as having tankiness for my team.
I think it's a fair consideration. I would still say that like more, I think more amp especially would be like not great, but like you're multiplying your amp with AS, right? So it's like it's a pretty efficient boost in your DPS. But I mean, I can see your argument of like, oh, you already have enough frontline potentially. I don't, or like you already have enough backline, which I don't think is true. But like you could make the argument if you're going at that route, like, oh, you have enough backline, so then more frontline could help as well. But you do already have Radiant Gunblade, right, which also helps with your frontline. So
Right.
I feel like if anything, it's your issue is going to be DPS.
I love it.
I would just go 0 here. Yeah, try to hit the guy.
I know the way. I'm sorry. This may hurt.
Bulky buddies.
Yeah. That always happens to me when I do bulky. That should be another reason I don't pick gold bulky.
Bulky buddy diff. Do you use it this turn at least? Okay, we got it. Did we get it? Oh, you're still not using it. Oh no. When do you remember?
Good question. What is
Let's see. Oh, you made GS. I'm almost like never willing to make this in Golden Ox. Wait, why? We're at 78 HP.
Oh yeah, I forgot that GS is mainly damage amp.
Oh. Yeah, I feel like if you really wanted to make an item, I would just make Shojin here.
Yeah.
And then you can move it to Annie later and you go for Last Whisper. Right? Because like here I would say anti-heal is the least important one out of the two utility because Annie gives you anti-heal with Tibbers as long as she casts. So then if you really wanted to make 3 items, I would just make Shojin and then the bow can be Last Whisper.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense.
I'm pretty sure GS is like god awful in this comp. Let me look in this stat. Like the stats should reflect this.
And with that same logic, Guard Breaker is probably not good either.
Yeah, that's what I would think. Aphelios. It doesn't even say that it's god awful. I would expect it, but here it doesn't seem to say so. It actually likes GS.
What about Guard?
But
Guard Breaker seems bad.
fine. It's fine. Still intuitively to me, like amp with amp is just this item is so this item is like very mid in terms of the stats it gives besides the amp, right?
0.5 AD, 10 AS.
Yeah, it's not less than like that's less than it's similar to Last Whisper. I don't know. I feel like so much of the power budget in this item is the amp.
How is Aphelios' AP scaling? Because GS also gives AP, right?
That's true. I'm actually not sure what his AP, how good his AP scaling is. You can take a look. I wouldn't think it is good, but I mean sometimes you can get surprised by this. I mean it looks mid to me. It just scales his ult
Okay.
by like a really small amount. Oh wait, yeah, we are here. Yeah, I think I would have greeted mostly because your HP is like you're at 78.
Yeah.
Or like I guess if you really didn't want to greed like being strong, I would just make Shojin on Aphelios and then move it to Annie. Because now you're also like not gonna make Shred, right?
Yeah. I think that hurts me.
Or sorry, Thunder.
And I still haven't figured out bulky. Definitely it was
there you go. You finally got bulky in. Adaptive. But yeah, now like the items could have been so good if you just like chilled a little. Like here, if you made blue buff here on the Annie, like if you didn't make this redemption, you would have the belt, and then you could make even shroud potentially if you really wanted to make an item. And I feel like the items would be so much better if you just didn't make these. Like and all that it gave you is like, even if it swung one of these fights, the redemption did. Like what does 8 HP even really do for this? I don't know. I'd much rather like, if we're already like we already have good setup. Your HP is good. You can play for a much higher cap here than like having a bunch of mid items everywhere.
Yeah. Yeah, agreed.
I guess during the game, do you feel like you're going through this thought process of like I have enough HP, I can play for higher cap, or like what is your thought process with like these item slams in the moment?
No, I don't think that was my thought process. I think how I've trained my brain now for stage 4, because I feel like stage 4 has been a leak for me for so long, where I lose so much HP that I've like basically have an algo now where it's just like get as strong as I can in stage 4.
Gotcha. I think it's somewhat fair to have that if you feel like you've been like burned in the past by this stage, but ultimately, I mean, I think the logic should just remain of like, you know, what's my HP, what placement am I playing for? Like the game, TFT is literally just the game of what placement are you playing for and optimizing around that placement at every point, right? And I think stage 4 is no different than any other stage in that regard. I think it may make it easier for you in the interim to like try to just play as strong as possible. Ultimately, like we should be just trying to optimize placements, and in this spot, 88 HP, you hit your board, or you're projected to hit your board.
By the way, if you go back to that where we just were a second ago, like here I was Do you hold the brands and sedges, assuming like it's multi-way contested on this roll down, or no? Because I feel like it actually probably prevented me from hitting like Aphelios 2 here, because I was just spending too long buying them.
I do try to, but I definitely like sell them off very quickly if I feel like I like here. I'd say it's the Kindred that's slowing us down, but yeah, I mean I'm fine with this. Totally fine with this. It slows you down a little bit. Like there's some argument for it being worth because it's 4-2, right? This
Yeah.
is the most important turn to hold them, so
Okay.
I think I'm fine with it to some degree.
I know the way.
I'm fine with it. If anything, I think it's quite good. It did also like you can also argue that holding those also fuck up your bulky buddy because if you didn't have that, you may have some time to fix your bulky buddies
Yeah.
if you didn't lose that time. But I don't think it's a big fault in my mind
Okay.
because it actually you potentially actually like gave yourself plus 0.2 placements by holding these, right? Assuming that these people that rolled for brand missed because you held them, right?
Okay.
So I think there's like an invisible like benefit to it, a non-trivial invisible benefit. So yeah. Adaptive, but yeah, now I feel like I look at your items and I can't envision this board winning anymore. Just because like your items are just so mid.
Yeah.
Lost bulky on backline, but you probably have a reason for it, I assume.
No, I think I forgot.
Let's see, and we're not proccing every turn. The thing, but that's fine. You're just going 9, which makes sense in the spot.
See what I can deny.
Typically, it's like Leona and this unit, right? Leona, Yumi,
Yeah.
as your other frontliners. Why are we Sedge here?
I think.
Oh, it's a Sedge that you just got. Okay.
Yeah, I think it was like. I could have sold it for econ, I think, but I think there's like 3 or 4 players trying to go for sedge, so I figure it's just worth stacking econ.
Yeah, I can see it. Losing one econ for it can be fine.
Especially
I was
since
just,
like, gold
well-
is not gonna be a scarce resource.
Yeah. I thought that you were playing a real Sedge on your board for a second, but like it's the
Oh.
Viego one, but the visual effect went away of
Yeah.
it being gold. Okay, this guy Rav, and this board is very strong when you hit everything like this. You probably beat him though. He doesn't have that much combat. No Leona, but like it's not that big a spike. Right? Probably roll once just to proc the thing. Yeah, and chill.
I should have bought that Vex. Very.
Look at your positioning real quick. That's fine, I guess. Why are we losing to Zeri? I guess he has a lot of combat and he's 2-star everything. Oh, he's also 2-star Aurora. Okay, he's Aurora 2 on 8, 2-star Sedge, 2-star the other guy with 0 combat. Sorry, 0 econ. Yeah, this guy's just crazy high roller.
Yeah, this is where the items are really hurting me.
Yeah, you just allowed yourself to be like artificially strong stage. Not artificially, temporarily strong stage 4, but now yeah, it's gonna come around.
Do you like the donkey rolling for Leona, or I should just be waiting an extra turn so I can get the golden ox stacks?
There's nothing else rolling for it. I guess J4. No, it's just J4 3, Brom 2, and yeah, I think I prefer not rolling here.
Okay.
Leona's not even the biggest spike. And this is probably like third item Annie or TG Viego.
EG, Viego.
I think it's IE, right? IE Aphelios.
Another item for Annie.
GS Annie.
Yeah.
I think that's best.
Or DB. DB or IE? I feel like the stats for IE are so bad for Aphelios for some
Are they? They used to be, but I feel like since the buff, they're no longer. Isn't that true? I would think. Look, I would think with 6 golden ox that IE is better, but Like, they are worse than DB in this sense. What about in 4 marks? Not that you're playing 4 marks, and I would expect IE to be better, but yeah, I guess it still is.
I wonder if
2
this is like
star.
one of those bugged situations because it doesn't make sense that it's so bad.
Yeah. Not sure. I would still think IE is better, but because DB gives you amp as well, which you already have a lot of, and AD, which you get from marksman. But okay, I mean,
PG, Viego.
yeah, it's possible. Yeah,
Tony,
I did you have the option of IE? Oh, you did.
Another item for Annie.
I think here I would take it and like just assume that either people are over making IE, DB's hard to make, right? And then it's 3 more gold is the other thing, which could help. But I guess if you convince yourself that like IE is just so awful on this unit, which I really don't think so, but
PG,
I assume it's just it's overmade is the thing because like the player rate is quite high.
Yeah.
But I mean it's possible I'm wrong, and it's possible that it's just bugged on him or something. So because the stats don't like it.
I mean,
can
that's
go
a
like
large
higher.
sample size. And
Yeah, it is. So it's probably just bad on him then.
we go. It wouldn't make sense that it's bad on him unless it's actually bugged.
Yeah.
I seem to have gotten wider again.
Do I like this?
Maybe I should sell Zaya.
Yeah, I feel like it's just sell Zaya because now like we held on to these J4 so much and then
Yeah.
it's just kind of sad. I think a lot of it should depend on how many J4s are out.
I seem to have gotten wider again.
Yeah, just how many J4s are out I think matter here. You're also potentially giving someone a free round, but
Giving
like
someone free
when
round.
doing this on you're doing this remover and place on an odd number of people, and so you're potentially giving someone a
Oh.
free ghost round. Like it's something. I mean, it shouldn't be like the highest priority in your mind, but as much as possible, you shouldn't be doing this, and like you shouldn't be leaving yourself starting the fight with no items, because you may have just given you maybe someone already dies if they fight your ghost, and instead they fight an itemless ghost.
Okay. That never even crossed my mind. Okay. Even against this guy, arguably I was just weaker because I put my items so
The
late.
items are so late. Yeah, I don't think you would have won, but yeah. As you decided to just 3-item tank. I think this is correct. Versus Golden Oxing him. I think. I'm not sure actually.
Oh, that's a fourth?
Yeah, I think a lot of it is the items, and then like we lost some gold, lost some procs here and there. Like this J4. At the end of the day, were we actually expected to hit this J4? Was this guy playing J4? He did. He had 3. And then
Also, I know
like these
Shred.
J4s just were clogging up your bench so much.
Yeah.
Isn't it? I feel like you can just try to hit Leona too, and that ends up being your main tank.
Uh-huh.
But you lost so much gold holding these guys, which when they were not really expected, I think, based on the lobby. Yeah. Like
Yeah.
this guy's all. Is he playing J4 or is he Anima? Oh, he's Anima.
An extra gold could help me hit like a Viego too.
Yeah. Yeah. Viego 2. Zaya 2 maybe. Not that I would swing your fights that much, but like the items are kind of mid. Oh, we didn't look at the last augment. Sorry, the last augment was at the end of stage 4.
Oh yeah, last augment was a horrible choice. This is worth it. Wait.
Just more well, when you have Raiden Gunblade, it's not bad, but like the amp is superfluous. But let's see.
Blade. Mana flow not today. A sword. Blade. Not really any good option. Dated spell weapon.
Can we just like shouldn't I feel like we should just take mana flow?
Mana flow not today.
I feel like you should just take mana flow. Is it that bad in this line? Annie Aphelios.
More
I mean,
mana.
Shojin
good
is so awful.
yeah.
This guy.
I feel it's more of an auto attacker, right? I guess it's like decent for Zaya, but I don't even have Zaya itemized. It's definitely great for Annie, but then I'm basically getting an augment just for Annie.
Yeah, I wouldn't think it does. It doesn't do 0 on Aphelios, but reading Shojin stats makes me think it does do 0 on Aphelios. So maybe it's fine to roll that.
Oh yeah, come on.
I don't need more damage amp. Come on.
Yeah, I guess you don't have anything else to take here, so fine. Yeah. Okay, and then the rest of the game played out as we saw it. Any main takeaways from this? I feel like a lot of it is the stage 2, stage 3 stuff.
Yeah, I got more aggressively to streak when I was like basically playing strongest board and like leveling up when it made sense to like keep streak, and then the whole thing with like Gragas 1, or I think that's actually a repeated thing, is just a 3 cost greater than a 2-star 1 cost. And especially if I'm
just try to do
streaking.
the math in your head of like HP on units, because I would imagine if I told you in this exact spot Gragas has 500 more HP in your board, I assume you would just play him.
Yeah.
But it likely is just a factor of you not doing that like a little bit of computation.
Yeah, same with the Rost at that one point as well.
Where are we? Yeah, the Rost, and then you didn't hold the Darius on 3-1, I think.
Yeah.
As well.
And greed, like no win to greed in stage 4. I know. Which really comes down to whether or not I'm playing for first or not. And I think a big part of it is just in general, I don't even ask myself if I'm playing for first anymore in stage 4, because I've historically always played for first in stage 4, and I got so many 8ths that way that I just stopped asking myself the question. Or I guess I didn't really ask myself the question in the first place. I just always played for it, and I died so many times that I stopped doing it.
And now you're I guess your solution is to always not play for it now. But I feel like it should just be. And it's not even just HP. Right? HP is just a factor. It's just like ideally, optimally, based on everyone else's spot, where you projected. If someone is 10 Street Demon, even if you're 100 HP, you just play for not first, right? Play for second.
Yeah, makes sense. And then I should have just given up on J4, given that it was contested so many ways, so that I would have more gold to hit like the other units for just a higher floor.
Yeah, I think it's just impossible to hit this guy when there are 4 people playing him.
Yeah. Sounds good. It's helpful. Yeah, I mean, I feel like I see so many top players like win with Golden Ox, and I can't. I have done it like once or twice this set, but I've tried so many times and it just rarely works. I think
I'm pretty sure you would have won this game if you
atomize better.
Oh, not even that. I think you only have to do 1 of 2. Play your early game correctly. Like you 100 streak this whole early game, right? You play Gragas here, you already win this round. You 100 streak stage 2. You level roll here or level on 3-1. You won on 3-1, right? You hold the Darius here. There's a chance you win 3-2. I think you do win 3-2. These guys TF1, right? You would beat this guy with TF2.
Yeah.
So you're 100 streaking already, right? Into stage 4. If you were just played, there's just two mistakes, right? You didn't hold Darius for 3-2, and then you didn't play Gragas on stage 2.
Mm-hmm.
And if you had done either of those, you'd be 100 HP here, meaning you'd be a lot richer. You'd proc more Golden Ox. You have all this HP.
Yeah.
I feel like the odds you go first here are so much higher.
Yeah, Golden Ox, like all those really small things, just like snowball so much. Gotta pay more attention.
Yeah, I think it's just win streak gameplay. Win streak gameplay is hard to convert into first unless you truly like 100 streak or like you play Cypher stage 4 stuff like that.
Right.
And here you had the chance. The 100 streak is just a few stuff that you missed.
Okay, cool.